So I was talking to Vulcan the other day, and he was telling me there's a current event going on right now where you can submit a photo and basically have a chance to win some rewards. And I'm like, what? What? Where's it at? We checked the social media. I'm like, there it is. There is a event going on right now. So I don't know if you all have checked it out, but you might want to take a chance to check out the social tab because those awards are actually pretty decent. What's going on, everybody? It's Childish. We're back at it again with a brand new video for Might and Magic Elemental Guardians. Today we're going to get you guys all caught up on our progression, as it's been a couple of weeks since I made an update video. And then of course we got to talk about that current event going on. If you guys haven't seen it, the summer AR photo contest or augmented reality contest, that's basically an opportunity for you guys to essentially win some free rewards. So you guys haven't checked that out, go ahead and take a look at the events section under the social tab and you will get all the information you got to do in order to participate in this event. Now, we are currently in Rat 10. As you guys know, we've been working on it quite a bit, especially a little bit more with that recent change in regards to like the whole damage that's been set for the boss and whatnot. So we've been making a couple of adjustments on our team Glyph wise, and we're trying to see if we can make a jump on it. Basically, my main 4 units have been the Water Arcane Bird, the Winter Druid, we have the Earth Feathercore, and the Air Unicorn. That's basically my staple 4 units that I've used. And after the recent change, I was using the Fire Goblin Shard because it was one of my best Glyph units. I took that out, obviously, and brought in the Wind Golem to provide a little bit more sustainability. But obviously, if you guys have had a chance to see Vulcan's recent couple of videos showcasing some of the speed teams that he's been running to Rad 10, I thought to myself, well, I definitely don't have the Glyph quality that he currently has, but maybe I can go ahead and substitute one of my cooldown resetters in there for that +1 spot, and hopefully it can get the job done here. So as of right now, it's looking pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with the progress thus far. Every once in a while there's a little bit of derps, but overall it's been pretty good. You know, keep in mind that the cooldown resetters are generally used, you know, right when they have it available, versus a unit like the Air Unicorn, it's only going to use its cleansing ability, you know, due to a condition. It's a conditional cleanser, right? So I like the fact that my Air Unicorn, if it doesn't have any of those harmful effects, is going to go ahead and save that skill and just work on the first skill or possibly the second skill if it has it available. And the Water Holy Sister can just keep on using her cooldown reset in order to keep my skills popping here. So overall, not too bad. It's like about a 30-second or so decrease, but coming from 4.5 minutes, I'll definitely take it. As you guys know, I do have the Air Crusader as well, so maybe down the road we'll be able to work him in. But obviously with regards to the Air Unicorn having the beneficial blocker, I'm definitely looking forward to using him a little bit more, or just kind of keeping him in until I get something else. So as far as that goes, that's kind of my main team right now. As far as the Tower of Trials go, I know you guys have been seeing a couple of videos recently. We have been working a little bit more on the Tower of Trials. I ain't gonna lie, I've been a little bit lazy when it comes to my TOT progression. I just basically been focusing on getting those glyphs, man, and getting enough crystals in order to get them upgraded. So I'm super excited to tell you guys that we finally got TOT 80 clear. That's the one versus the Earth Necro. As you guys might have seen, we've had a lot of people in Discord. The community has been putting a lot of you know, their feedback on this one, considering that it's probably one of the more difficult stages in the TOT rotation here. That unit has upwards of like 190 speed, so if you don't have the speed to, if you don't have enough speed to outspeed them and get the jump on them, you basically are going to have to come in there with a couple of immunity glyphs on maybe your cleanser or have some high resistance in order to take that initial wave and then just try to, you know, follow through in order to take them down. So it's pretty hard, but again, if you have, you know, the glyphs that you've been working on, then you can make it do what it do, right? So considering that we need the immunity glyphs and we're looking at playing around with high resistance, that's actually, it's kind of funny that this all landed the way it did, because if I didn't say it already, last week we got ourselves a promotion. We made it to the Silver 3 rank, so we finally are now, you know, going up against people that are like super difficult. I'm actually pretty low rank right now, but we're gonna do some videos down the road to showcase my, you know, arena teams and some of the changes that I've made. But simply put, I'm gonna have to work a little bit harder to get myself some glyphs and push the envelope here. Right now, my highest speed unit is running at about 185 speed, but I am running against people that are constantly outspeeding me. It's not going to be enough here. That being said, I'm running a haste precision set on them versus like a double haste set. So I think I have the ability or the capability to kind of push in the 200 range. But from what I've been talking in the community, they're like, yeah, 200 is good, but it's not gonna be, it's not gonna hold it down. So we're gonna be looking at some other things that we can do. Maybe not just trying to focus on getting the first turn, but possibly see what we can do to bring some immunity on our units, and also either that or probably try to get some high resistance. Maybe even incorporating some kind of units with some kind of revive mechanics that have some other things in the kit in order to just take the first hit and then go from there. So I think we can get it done. If they have some kind of cooldown resetter though, I'm going to stay away from them. Or if they have some you know, some kind of a purger on the team, I'm probably going to stay away from them. But either way, at least it kind of gives me another option to play around with in the arena if I cannot find somebody that I want to take down here. So now getting back to the whole immunity and resistance, one of the things that I've actually thought about quite a bit is taking a break of Rat 10 and focusing on benefits. So I've been playing around a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw, it was a while ago we played around with the benefit team showcasing, I think, the fire golem. We used it for a little bit, then we were using the air golem to have that initial, you know, tanking spot versus the fire golem. But of course, with the recent changes on that boss damage, he actually does an exceptional amount of damage, and it's pretty hard to keep the unit alive. In addition to that, I've been seeing a little bit of interesting AI. I've actually been having my team get targeted, my water-based units get targeted. I don't know if I have the team right here. Here's one of the teams. I was running, actually I was not even running, I was running the double, I was running the double wind tank for a little bit there. But honestly, I generally run just one tank with four units here. My pride and joy comes from the water imp. He's the one that does all the beneficial effect removers. He provides the beneficial blocker, the poisons. He's the one that basically allows me to clear benefit 10. But it's been so random when that when the fire ad provides the AoE defense break. For whatever reason, the fire golem's like, you know what? I don't really feel like targeting the other air units right now. I'm just gonna go for him and one-shot him. And he's been getting targeted here, so I'm gonna have to take a look and do a couple more runs, test it out, and then when I get everything all set up, I'll showcase to you guys how good or how bad everything is turned out. But okay, so let's get back to the glyph quality right now. Just want to show you a couple of updates. We made a couple of improvements. We'll go ahead and collect these rewards because I need all the seals I can get. Right now, some of the biggest units that I've been focusing on, obviously when it comes to speed, we've been working really hard trying to get the glyphs improved on our fire goblin challenge, because again guys, considering the fact that even though he may not be considered the best attack bar booster right now, for the fact that he has that Persian ability for me, in addition to providing the attack bar manipulation, he's just super strong, and I have to continuously use him. He's the only reason why I've been able to kill people that I have no business going up against. Now, of course, I can bring in some other kind of attack bar booster, but the purging ability on this unit is too strong not to incorporate him in the arena. So right now, we're looking to improve it. Obviously, I have a precision set because I'm trying to keep my accuracy at a decent amount here. That's the bad thing about using an attack bar booster that has some kind of mechanic that is of the attack bar manipulation on the negative side versus providing just the beneficial part, you know, on the positive end, right? You have to have a decent amount of accuracy to make sure that those attack bar reductions go into play. If one of the unit resists, and it's a unit that can do a lot of damage or has some kind of CC effect, it can completely screw up your plans and possibly take a unit out that you need in your Glyph comp, right? So obviously my main unit right here is the Fire Succubus. This is the one that I've been using quite a bit now in the arena. No big changes on this unit right now. We're still sitting at a Strength Frenzy setup. Again, it's a really weird combo. We got speed attack on the top, crit attack on the middle, and then we got HP and attack here. So we got a little bit of blend of HP and a decent amount of attack. Running the strength set to get even more attack, and right now she's doing a pretty decent amount of damage here. We'll pair her with the Air de Jin and the Fire Kappa in order to get maximum amount of damage on her first and second skill, and that's pretty much the gist of it. Now I'm pairing her up also with the Thunder Samurai. I've been messing around with him a little bit, obviously with a lot of the praise that this unit has gotten in the past few weeks here. An amazing kit overall, a ton of damage on the third skill, and honestly one of the coolest things about him that I'm really enjoying is he teams up with 2 allies to attack an enemy, and it's on a super low cooldown. So one thing I'm really excited about, not just for the fact of PvP, but even PvE, once we start evolving into a speed-based team, having the opportunity to use a skill as much as you can is going to be able able to bring some of your other DPS units out there to do a ton of damage when you're waiting for your main skills cooldowns to reset there. So obviously this is an amazing unit. We have taken some of our Frenzy and Destruction glyphs and put it on it, and overall I'm really happy with the progress that we made thus far. We're running an interesting set here. Speed, HP on the top. We got double crit in the middle, and we got flat attack on the bottom here. So obviously we got a lot of improvements to be made. We need to get percentage based attack glyph so we can get a little bit more value, considering his base attack is really high. And I'm probably going to be looking to get kind of like what I did with the fire succubus. I'm looking to get myself probably an attack rune here. I'm looking to probably get like a little bit of speed on it if I can, so that I can make up for the other lack of stats that I'm losing. So if I can get that glyph, I think that he will be in a little bit decent place. But the overall right now, the damage with the defense break and the hunted ability or debuff per se, I'm critting anywhere from like 13 to 20k on those units here. A little bit more obviously on the water-based units. So overall, I'm pretty happy about it. Obviously, I don't have my team properly set up since I'm running the Fire Goblin Shaman. I'm using the attack bar booster, which is nice, but I'm not getting that attack buff that I could be getting from, let's say, like a Fire Nymph or something like that to even provide a little bit more damage. So I'm going to be playing around with some attack bar boosters, taking a look at some of these units that are available. I don't know if you guys saw YDCB recently put out a video where he pulled the water kappa and was talking about how like his base speed is a little bit high. It has the elemental advantage buff, so that might be nice to incorporate a little bit of DPS if I'm looking to bring in another attack bar booster. So we got a couple of options. Those are the main two ones that I'm doing, the Fire Succubus and the Thunder Samurai. But other than that, those are pretty much my main units for PvP. Now PvE, not going to go too much into detail. Basically, a couple of glyphs have improved, but overall, the Wither Druid is pretty much stayed the same. She's running a double meditation stat, focusing on a high amount of HP because her third skill is based off of her own max HP. The Water Holy Sister has made an improvement since you guys last saw. She was sitting at the Water Holy Sister. She was sitting at a haste meditation set. Now she is on a double meditation, and because of the fact that she's not focused on having a certain amount of HP in order to provide the heal similar to the Winter Druid, she has a nice blend of defense and HP glyphs, so that I can go ahead and make her relatively tanky. Again, I'm trying to get all my units over 1,000 defense if I can, and she is set up to have a high amount of speed but lower than everybody else, so everybody can use her skills, and then she go ahead and reset those skills. No big changes to the Water Arcane Bird. Basically, he is 5-star now. I don't think it was necessary for Rat 10, but it definitely helps out when it comes to just the RNG aspect of Rat 10 and obviously TOT. I still use him quite a bit in certain situations, so having that extra base stats, I can get a little bit more value out of my percentage based clips that I have available in the precision stat. Again, running double precision because I want as much accuracy as possible to make sure that I can land that AoE slow and that AoE attack break here. No changes to the Earth Fella Core. We're looking to improve it slowly and steadily, but overall, I'm pretty happy with the stats right now. If I can make them a little bit faster, I'll go with it. But overall, I'm pretty happy with them. Haste Precision, we're running double speed on top, percentage HP in the middle, and we're running defense on the bottom there. Fire Kappa, obviously part of my PvP team, so we've been pretty happy with this one. He's just super strong when it comes to the amount of damage that he can bring. So I don't know if you guys got a chance to see Legend's video, but he was showcasing like a damage difference between using like an attack unit with an attack buff and the defense break versus like the Fire Kappa providing the defense buff and the hunted buff. So he found out that he was able to do a little bit more damage, I believe, with this unit versus some of the other options that he had. So obviously it just kind of goes to show how strong this unit is, and if you don't have it built, I definitely encourage you to make it a priority eventually if you don't need it right now. So outside of that, Flaming Druid has been making a little bit of improvements. For the most part, all my core units are going to have yellow and purple glyphs across the board. This one here, we have a couple of more glyphs to go ahead and throw on her. But overall, the reason why I did not get those last two glyphs changed is because I wasn't using her, or basically her stats was good enough for strength 10. We are autoing strength 10 now, which we'll probably showcase in a future video. But overall, her stats are pretty good. But obviously, I need to improve the glyphs so I can get a little bit more effective HP. So Yeah, and then the Fire Treant, we've been using him a little bit more off and on, random dungeons. We've been doing some Tower of House, you know, autoing stage 10. We've been using him in that stage. He's been actually pretty fun. He's definitely one of the stronger healers out there. Right now, we're running a double frenzy on him. A lot of people incorporate a double frenzy, you know, at the start. I'm running speed, crit, and HP here, but I'm honestly looking to get myself a double appeasement set. I actually have some really nice glyphs in the appeasement set, so I'm going to be slowly working them in as I can. However, I cannot rush the process because, as you guys know, the value comes from the passive and being able to crit as many times as you can, right? So you can get yourself this heal. So obviously, if I make the switch to improvement, I can improve the value of a heal, but it makes no sense if it reduces the amount of critical rate that it is. So again, guys, for some of you that may have this unit and you're like, hey, I don't know if I want to incorporate it or which kind of glyphs that I should use, you can use double frenzy, you can use double appeasement, whatever you use, make sure that it provides you the highest amount of a crit possible so that you can take complete value, your max value out of this unit here. So I've been working on him quite a bit, and another one that's gotten a lot of love lately is the Fire Nymph. Now again, I've already talked about it in the previous video, talking about TOT, attack bar manipulation, how strong this unit is, an AoE heal with the elemental advantage for the defense, the heal over time, and then we have the 60% attack bar boost with the attack buff for 2 turns and the resistance buff. So again, resistance is definitely underrated. I've seen a lot more value to be used in this unit just as of recent, because again, that resistance aspect, we focus on so many other stats and we kind of forget about the resistance. So I'm definitely excited to use her a little bit more. Hopefully we'll see some videos down the road in the future here. So not a lot of love for the Fire Arcane Bird. I feel like it's a really good unit. However, I just got a couple of more units that I'm messing around with. So when it comes to PvP, I haven't incorporated her just yet due to the low amount of base speed that she has, but I'm definitely going to consider using her down the road. I feel like her kit's amazing, and I can get a little bit of value considering she has not only the attack buff, but the elemental advantage buff. So we get a lot of damage brought in here. Yeah, freezing Basilisk, no big changes on here. The glyphs made it a little bit improvement in TOT, but overall it's just about getting as fast and tanky as possible with as much accuracy as possible. No big changes there. Let's see, the Water Imp is the one that I'm going to be putting a little bit more emphasis now. Like we said before, we were talking about the benefit 10 and possibly using him to go ahead and take that unit down. This is probably by far one of the best free-to-play options for you guys if you're looking to crush that benefit 10. So you have the beneficial effect remover here. You have the ability that improves the duration of your negative effects, and considering the fact that this unit prioritizes skill 3 over 2, if you can land this one, get the beneficial blocker and the poison right from the get-go, you can extend those buffs and make that beneficial blocker last a little bit longer. Remember that that Water Sphinx provides an immunity for 2 turns for the party, so if you could stop them from putting that immunity on, you could definitely speed up the way at which you clear benefit 10. So really, really good kit overall. I encourage you to do it. Not so much change with the Water Juggernaut. Stats have been still the same. We're not going to play around with his stats too much just yet because, again, he's very, very niche. With Strength 10, I initially used him in there, but because of the fact that I was using the Flaming Druid, it was kind of counterproductive because I was putting on immunity. However, he needs the immunity to be off to be able to bounce back those negative effects. So we took him out of our team right now, and the team that we're running is actually a little bit more, it's a little bit more consistent here. So the Water Spirit Fox, this is actually a really good unit. Again, if you guys are playing around with it in the benefit 10, I like this kit. Obviously, it has one of the best heals out there. It doesn't look like it, but when you get this skilled up here, you're going to be able to improve this reduction of cooldowns to 3 turns. So really, really strong ability here. And this is another conditional heal. You have not only the heal, but the attack bar increase. So any opportunity that you can to give yourself a little turn advantage, it's really, really nice. And then like we said before, when it comes to the Water Imp, this also has a beneficial effect remover. So you can purge, and it's on a low cooldown. So if you're having trouble on that benefit 10 stage with the aspect of the immunity that Water Sphinx provide, then you can use this unit to go ahead and counteract that. I evolved into the turn bar reduction here, so it's not too bad. I mean, I'll take any kind of turn advantage I can, but overall it's been pretty good. No changes to the Air Basilisk. The only thing that we did is improve we got him evolved, so we get a little bit more speed. We needed to improve his speed so that we can not get basically outsped by some of the units out there on the stage 70 and up. So Overall, double precision, double speed, double critical rate, flat HP are running here. No big changes. Again, the Air Crusader, we talked about a little bit. Don't judge me on this stats. Basically, it's not the prettiest stats in the world. I just did what I could to get him the right amount of speed that I need. Down the road, I'll go ahead and change the glyphs a little bit. Probably get him on a meditation set as I do with my Water Holy Sister. But overall, he's just kind of a +1 right now in certain situations, and we've been having fun with it. Air Assassin, we obviously haven't used that quite a bit since we got the Earth Phallic Core. One thing that I did want to point out, if I haven't already, is if you guys remember, I did pull a second Earth Phallic Core. I have him glyphed up, but I haven't put too much emphasis on because I value the cooldown reduction or cooldown resetters versus bringing in another AoE poisoner, right? What's the point of bringing in a second AoE poisoner if you have another unit that can not only speed up the process of your original poisoner, but also reduce the cooldowns of everybody else, right? It just makes sense. So that's kind of where we're at right there with the poisoners. Air Golem, not too much has changed here. A little bit of improvement on the speed. I think we got this new glyph here that we put on. We don't have any speed on this one, but the defense percentage was really, really nice. So we're pushing 1200 defense on him. Obviously, considering he has that uptime, it's really, really strong, and I'm having a good time with him as far as where I need him at, which is, of course, the benefit 10 right now. So Air Unicorn, she actually had a couple more green glyphs. I've been improving them a little bit. I should probably put a more emphasis on it because it's still a staple unit in my Rat 10 team, but overall, she's doing a pretty good job with what she needs. Don't underestimate that accuracy. Definitely make sure that you have a decent amount of accuracy, because that second skill, the beneficial blocker, if you don't land that, that can definitely reduce the speed at which you clear some of those runs here. So I definitely encourage you to try to get your accuracy a little bit higher up without using an accuracy glyph on the teardrop slots. You know, get the advantage if you can from the precision sets. I think that's going to be the best way to go until they make any kind of changes to provide us a little bit more accuracy or resistance on those main stats if they incorporate that with the teardrop glyph. So those are the majority of the units. The Air Nymph we have not used in a minute, but we did make some improvements. We were testing her in strength 10. She's actually a pretty decent unit. Obviously, the Water Nymph is a better option if you have it. This was my first AoE healer, guys. So again, don't be discouraged if you don't get the meta unit or whatnot. Just use what you got. You can definitely take advantage of her, especially if you're incorporating her in the Wrath dungeon run. She has that Persian ability on the first skill, so it's really, really nice considering a lot of these bosses that we're dealing with at the early start of the game has the some kind of immunity or some kind of shield, you know, with HP. So it's anything you can you know, work this in, you're probably going to get a little bit of value out of her. So last but not least, we don't really have any other units that we're working on. We had this Sundeer. We tested them out really early on, probably like a month into the game when we were messing around in the strength dungeon. Initially, if you guys didn't know, it has the immunity for 1 turn. It can be improved to 2, but there is no other like healing mechanic here. So considering the fact that we have other units out there that provide some kind of heal alongside the defense buff, similar to what this one gives, we're trying to, you know, use those and take advantage of those here. So single target speed decrease, it is nice, but dealing with all the immunity that we have right now on some of these units and whatnot, we have other units that provide us the slow, like the Water Arcane Bird. So I haven't found too much value out of it. We'll be looking to play with it, but either way, I just want to go ahead and showcase the last few units out there. I'm going to be building a couple of fun units like we've said before. The Water Kappa, once we get it evolved, it'll have 81 speed. We'll have that elemental advantage buff plus the turn bar manipulation. I think it goes up to 35%. We also have this Air Treant that I'm really looking forward to playing around with it. Disregard the glyphs. I mean, they're not good, but I don't know if you guys take a look at this unit. I think it's a pretty unique kit. I might play around with this even for fun on like arena defense. I might play around with this on TOT. I think this has a pretty unique kit here. This ability right here, being able to sleep, blind, or confuse the units, I think that's a really nice CC mechanic. And when you think about some of the compositions that you can be bringing in TOT, you might have to, especially for those boss stages where you use the Air Basilisk to kind of focus down specific units, this kit right here might be able to give you that break when dealing with some of those ads that you constantly have to deal with. And so I like this kit overall. I'm looking forward to building them down the road. But those are some of the 2 units that I'm playing around with. Nothing else kind of sparks my mind right now. Considering the ones that you are currently seeing right now, the 3-star units, definitely take a look at it. If you have any of them that you are excited about or possibly want me to build, let me know. I ain't gonna lie, I was really looking forward to building one of the belly dancers. but I did not decide to build it because of the fact that we got this unit here. When I was looking at the belly dancers, the team up ability is really nice, but considering the fact that I want to work myself into my speed comps, and I wanted to incorporate something new for PvP, I thought this one was the best option to do, and this one also has that team up mechanic. So this one combined is going to be pulling 2 units, which more often than not is going to give me that chance to pull the Fire Succubus. So I'm actually looking forward to using him in certain situations for the time being, and possibly if I need some kind of a team up ability with some other kind of either sustainability or some other kind of utility that I can use on my kit or use on my team, then I possibly will take a look at the belly dancers here and see if we can incorporate them. But either way, guys, that's going to be pretty much it. I just wanted to give you all an update on some of the units and glyphs and whatnot. I get countless messages on every single video that I put out asking what is the way that you build this monster, that monster. So I just wanted to take the time to go ahead and showcase for you today. I apologize that there's not a lot of gameplay per se, but we're going to have some other things planned down the road so you guys can go ahead and laugh at my fails when I make those videos, alright? That is going to be it, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's your boy Childish with Childish Plays checking out. Take care, and we will see you all in the next one. I'm out.